Welcome to this presentation on working with files in Talon Studio. In this presentation, you'll learn how to import data files in a data integration job in Talon Studio. We'll cover the necessary steps to import data from files. A common application in data integration is to merge data coming from different files using the ETL process. This video addresses the problem of reading data from files with different formats such as CSV, XML, and JSON. Regardless of the file type, data is interpreted and processed in the same way using the following three steps. First, identify the file properties so that data can be properly extracted from the file and separated into fields. Next, define a schema, mapping each field of the imported data to a column. Finally, configure file properties and schema in a dedicated component to read data from the source file. The properties of a file depend on its type. Take a look at the structure of your delimited or hierarchical file. This will help you define how to extract data into fields. The schema sets the properties of the output columns, such as name, types, lengths, and so on. You can build the schema manually, or import it from the repository or from another file. Pick up a component in the palette and configure it using the file properties and the schema. The name of the component starts with file input followed by the file type. For example, tfile input delimited, tfile input XML, or tfile input JSON. And that's it! You have your first component ready for the load operation of the ETL process. Let's start with a delimited file. For this presentation, we'll use a typical list of customers. Most of the time, the first rows are dedicated to field headers. They contain the field labels, but no customer data. In this example, we have 6 fields which you can see here. Each data row needs to end with a row separator. If you don't see one, consider the standard newline character used here. Each row is divided into fields by a field separator, also called a delimiter. The field separator used here is a comma. Let's reuse these properties to configure the component. Place a tfile input delimited component in the designer and display it in the component view. Fill in the main properties: file path and name, row separator, field separator, and number of rows in the headers. From the component view, you must edit or import the schema. Using the schema definition, fields are mapped to the columns. Data is ready to be consumed by the next component in the data flow. In this presentation, we covered all the steps of the processing pipeline to import data from files in a data integration job in Talon Studio. We saw practical examples with delimited, XML, and JSON files. Thanks for watching this presentation.